Issa himself was kidnapped by the settlers on October 7th, the day that Hamas was launching their attack in Israel. The settlers came wanting, vengeance. And Issa is someone that is easy to pick on because he is bold, he's strong, he speaks up, and he's not intimidated. He's basically the leader of all of the Palestinians living in this area. So they took him, they cuffed him so tight that like his circulation was cut off for 10 hours. They blindfolded him and gagged him, and they took him somewhere where then they began beating him. They sexually assaulted him. They were mocking him. They were taking selfies with him. He said it was the 10 hours, the 10 most difficult hours of his life. And he didn't really give like specific details beyond those, what he said. But since he's been released, he's had death threats. Settlers have come up to him and have said, "We're watching you. We're going to get you when we can." And he said basically, speaking as though he's a dead man walking, like he's ready to accept martyrdom. He said, "I'm going to stay here. I'm going to keep speaking because this is the right thing to do. We want to live in peace with the Jewish people. We don't want to be at odds with them. This is a land that we can share and we can live together. But it can't be, under one exclusive religion having the dominance and pushing everyone else out. This isn't the way of God," he even said. Earlier, while we were trying to find a way to meet Issa, there was this boy, young teenage boy, who was following us, trying to sell these Palestine bracelets, and he was just unrelenting and like, please buy, And Omar Harami, our leader with Sabil, he said, this young man reminds me of the persistent widow. He finally stopped our group and he said, maybe someone should buy something from him. So we started talking to him, and we found out that he also lived inside the settlement like Issa. And so the boy began telling us how he had also been kidnapped by the soldiers a few months earlier, and he'd also been beat up by them. And that he said that the settlers, it wasn't just the men who did it, but they brought in their children as well. So their sons would, like, the dads would be beating him, and they would teach their sons to also beat him. And the dads would urinate on him, and then they would teach their sons to also urinate on him. And they took all of his things that he was selling, like his little Palestine bracelets and stuff, and they burned them, and then they let him go after a while. So again, it's just this acute vulnerability of these people that are living next to the settlers, who are basically just doing whatever they want and getting away with it. There is no accountability for them, and that's got to change.